What is up, my people? I am back, Coach Tom, here at Stoke Metabolic Coaching, coming from the Stoke Metabolic Kitchen right now. Like I said in a couple of last episodes, my favorite place to build results. It's not just about the gym. As much as I love the gym, it is also about the kitchen. If you're seeing this on my YouTube page, Stoke Metabolic Coaching, jump on into my Facebook group, Fat Loss Blueprint for Overworked Professionals. I once was an overworked professional. I spent way too many hours in an office job. I was like a caged animal, but I'm out and I'm just promoting fitness to the world, living my best life, and just loving sharing all of this knowledge with you. So jump into my Facebook group. It's in the comments, Fat Loss Blueprint for Overworked Professionals. I'd love to see you there. I'd love to welcome you to our community. And with that being said, I'd love to break down today's episode. So in my last two episodes, we talked about the pyramid for fat loss and how the 5 things that I would recommend doing if I was trying to lose fat. If I was trying to lose fat today, tomorrow, how I would start and what my main focuses would be. Number 1 was calorie deficit. That's the base of the pyramid. You gotta be in a calorie deficit if you're gonna lose weight naturally without using drugs. I saw a whole episode on Good Morning America about like Ozempic today and all sorts of stuff like that. And I'm like, oh, we gotten to that point where we're trying to drug it away. Dude, eat right and you're gonna have the body you want. You're gonna have the body of your dreams. You're gonna be feeling great without drugs. And that's my goal, to help you get there. So calorie deficit was numero uno. The bottom, the base of the pyramid, is the foundation and it's where you need to start. And where do we go from there? Well, now we're gonna talk about protein intake. So if you watched the last episode, I talked about tracking your calories on an app like MyFitnessPal. I should have mentioned there's plenty of other great apps out there. There's plenty of things you can use to maximize to track your calories and track your intake if MyFitnessPal isn't your thing. But you can Google calorie tracker and I'm sure you're gonna find 20, 30 great things. MyFitnessPal is my preferred, it's my go-to. It's probably because I've been using it since like the early 2000s, probably like 2010s, making myself question my age now that we're in 2023, lose track of time. But I've been using it since probably a year or two after I first stepped into the gym, and it's kind of mind-blowing when you check out your calories for the first time, when you track your calories for the first time. So hopefully you saw some cool data there. Hopefully you saw some things that'll help you. Hopefully you got a little clarity out of that. And like I mentioned in episode 1 of this series, is that I was talking about protein intake, and the majority of you are probably not eating enough protein. We gotta start there. We gotta make sure we're getting in enough daily protein. We gotta make sure that we are intaking enough protein to rebuild muscle. Like, muscle is not the enemy. You're not gonna get bulky. You're not gonna look like me by just eating the amount of protein you should be eating. It takes years and years and years of hard work and busting your butt to put on substantial amount of muscle. So don't worry about getting bulky. Don't worry about getting jacked. It's not gonna happen unless you want it to happen. You put in the work for it to happen. But you gotta be taking in the right amount of protein. So with MyFitnessPal, you can scroll down and you're gonna see a breakdown of how much protein you are taking currently. Now, I don't like to use their recommendations. I think their recommendations are a little off. My recommendation is always to get about 0.8 to 1.2 grams of protein per pound of body weight. So if you weigh 200 pounds, you wanna at least be getting 0.8 of that. So 160 grams of protein. Man, I should have did my math before, put myself on blast on the camera. But yeah, 160 grams of protein if you weigh 200 pounds and you're shooting for 0.8. This is a recommended range. I'm gonna recommend you shoot for a little higher. I'm gonna recommend, if you're a 200-pound individual, you shoot for 200 grams of protein. If your goal is to put on muscle, I'm gonna recommend that you lean more towards that 1.2, so about 240 grams of protein. We wanna get more muscle on, so we're gonna be working out more. Let's give our body the fuel to rebuild and come out looking our best, living our best life. But the minimum I would say for people is, even though I gave you the 0.8 to 1.2 range, is gonna be that 1. And why do I give you a minimum and then I retract that and bring you to the 1? Because a lot of you are already falling short and you're probably still gonna fall short. But if you fall short of your 200 gram goal, and I'm just throwing that number out there, if you fall short of your 200 gram goal, you're probably you're still shooting what's the quote? You know, shoot for the moon. If you miss, you land among the stars. So you're probably still gonna hit that 160. That's a 0.8. Meanwhile, if you're shooting for 0.8 and you miss the mark, well then you're getting only about 120, and we're back to square one where we're under eating our protein. So shoot for the 1. If you're missing, you hit 0.8. We're not in a terrible position. We're probably eating more protein than we were before. It's essential. It keeps you full. Satiety, you know, proteins keep you full. Chicken, fish, eggs. I can keep going. We got protein shakes, beef, lamb. My wife's gonna kill me when I say lamb, man. She's a vegetarian, so I can feel her ears perk up after, even though I mentioned all sorts of meat. Bison, ox. No, don't eat ox. Bison. There's so many great sources of protein out there. I mean, I just gave you my favorite of the meats, but there's other options out there. I drink a protein shake every day, and I aim to get about 220 to 230 grams of protein myself a day. I do have different goals than most of you, but that's okay. So break out the calculator, see what MyFitnessPal gave you, and see how close you are. Once you do, drop it in the comments. Let me know how far off you were. Are you severely under eating protein? Because then maybe I'll follow this up with how do we get enough protein in the day. But if you watch the last 2 episodes, I am going to break down your diet. I'm going to fix your diet because your diet needs fixing. There's a couple of screws loose, so my job is to help you fix that. This is a free 99, free $0, 0 cents. Shouldn't even said the 99 there, that I'm going to do for my followers, for people in my group, because again, I love giving back to the community. I love helping people on this. This fitness journey has blessed me exponentially. So, you know, changed my life, and I'm here to change yours. So jump into my group where you can get access to that Fix My Diet assessment, and I'll break things down for you, and I'll fix yours up. I'll tune you right up, and we'll see if we can help you out. With that being said, go drink a protein shake, have some eggs, have some chicken breast, and have an awesome night.